We're finally back with a new recipe, and since it's Ramadan, we're going to be making soup. Soup is considered one of the most important dishes to have at your dinner table during Ramadan. The Sudanese soup is one of the most unique soups that I've come across recently. It's a lamb broth that's flavoured with Sudan's most iconic ingredient, peanuts.
Right, well, sorry for interrupting, but Salma and I have a very important announcement that just can't wait. We've been shortlisted for a Fortnum & Mason's Food Award as Rising Star Content Creators of the Year. Now, if you don't know what the Fortnum & Mason Food Awards are, they are the most coveted food media awards in all of the UK. It's like the UK's equivalent of the James Beard Media Awards. Now, we were nominated by YouTube alongside some of the biggest creators in the game. Being shortlisted is a massive honour, but winning it? Wow, that would be incredible. So, what do you need to do? Well, this is one of the few categories that are voted on by the public. And so if you want to see your favourite content creator win this award, then you got to go and you got to vote for me. I'll leave a link in the comments and description box and also a little QR code so you can go right there. It literally takes 2 seconds. And if you've enjoyed any of our videos this year or in the past, please vote. This is one of the biggest awards that we could possibly be nominated for, and winning it would be absolutely massive. All right, thanks, and back to the video.
We're going to start off by making a simple lamb broth, and for the lamb broth you're going to need a medium pot with a lid. We won't need the lid for now, so we can put this on the side and set the heat to medium-high. We're going to add a couple tablespoons of a neutral oil or any fat of choice. Now this is optional, but I love to start my stock with 2 pieces of mastic. It gives this piney flavour to the stock, which is actually really delicious. I'm going to add it to the oil. And as soon as it starts melting, then we'll add our meat. Now my oil is hot, the mastic has melted, and it's so fragrant, you can actually smell it. I'm gonna brown my lamb to just add that extra depth of flavour to my soup. I've used some bone-in lamb shoulder that's been cut into small chunks, but feel free to use whatever cut of lamb that you'd like, or even beef. So I'm just gonna leave the lamb to take some color, and as soon as it's done, it will release from the bottom of the pan, just like this piece over here. Now that the lamb has taken a nice brown color, I'm gonna add in this medium onion that I've roughly chopped into 6 pieces. And I'm gonna brown it so that it takes also a nice color. I've got 3 garlic cloves in here, and I'm just gonna give everything a mix. Now that the sides of the onions have started to take a nice golden color, I'm gonna add in my aromatics. So over here I've got a few bay leaves and a cinnamon stick. I've got a teaspoon of black peppercorns. I've got about 10 cardamom pods. I'm gonna give everything a stir so that my spices toast a little bit. As soon as you can start to smell the cinnamon, that's when you add the water. I've got about 1.5 liters of water here. Just gonna add a little bit and deglaze the bottom of the pot. And then I'm gonna add the remainder of the water. Just make sure that the water is covering your lamb. We're gonna bring our water to a boil, and we're gonna patiently wait next to it, skimming off any impurities that raise to the top. And while it comes to a boil, I'm gonna give the stove a quick wipe down. As it comes to a boil, all the impurities will come to the top and float. And I like to use a sieve. I learned this trick on the internet, I can't remember where, but it's great for just removing all the impurities without removing extra liquid. I think we've removed most of the impurities, so I'm just gonna set this aside, and this has already started to come to a boil, so I'm gonna add my salt, 2 teaspoons of salt. I've got chili here, bird's eye chili if I'm not mistaken. I'm just gonna snap it in half and add it to my stock. I'll mix the salt in. I'm gonna lower the heat to medium-low, cover it and let it simmer for about an hour and a bit. Cooking time will entirely depend on your cut of meat. So if you're using boneless lamb, it's gonna take a lot less time. If your cubes are smaller, it'll take less. So you're just gonna have to check your meat and its doneness along the way. Okay, so this has been simmering for about an hour and a half now. Ooh, steamy. I check a piece of lamb right now. It's literally falling off the bone. And it's fully cooked. And now our simple broth is ready. Now this is a basic Middle Eastern lamb broth. The next stage is what makes it uniquely Sudanese. First thing we're gonna do is strain our broth. Got a big bowl right here with a mesh strainer that's not too fine. I'm gonna pour my stock into here. Ooh. It smells so good. I've strained this because I'm going to be flavoring the stock now. I'm going to add other ingredients, which I'm going to want to blend later on. So I prefer having the meat on the outside. What I'm going to do is set this aside. I'm going to pour the stock back into the pot. And now we're going to flavor it with some crushed coriander seeds, a bit of cumin, some ginger. You can leave these out, but I think it really rounds out the soup. Now this is what really takes it to a whole other level. We're gonna add some oats, and what these oats are gonna do is that they're gonna thicken up the soup and the star of the show, which is peanut butter. I will turn the heat back on to medium, and I'll let this simmer for about 10 minutes until the oats are cooked, and then we're gonna blend everything together. Okay, now this has just about come to a simmer. I'm going to put the lid on and I'll leave this for 10 minutes until the oats have cooked down. Now, one important note is the type of peanut butter that you use is really important. You want to use the natural stuff. You don't want any additives in there, nothing that's sweetened. So this is just basically peanuts and salt. One of my favorites, actually. You can use crunchy, you can use smooth. If you prefer the texture, you can leave it, but I've used crunchy. I'm gonna blend it afterwards, so it's not gonna be there anymore, but if you prefer the texture, just leave it in there. And now we're going to move on to the meat. I'm just gonna fish it out of here. I think I've fished out all the meat. So now I'm just gonna remove the bones from the lamb. Oh, there you go. You can just break it off into smaller pieces if you prefer. See, the bones just come off because we've been cooking this for a while. It's been 10 minutes. Now we can check the oats just to make sure that everything is properly cooked. You can see that the oats have expanded here. Now we are ready to blend the soup. Now, this step is completely optional, but I prefer a creamy soup, so I'm going to blend mine. I'm going to use my immersion blender to blend the soup. If you don't have an immersion blender, you can use a regular blender. Just make sure to wait for it until it cools down a little bit, or leave the top slightly open so that it does not explode. I think it's all done. Now our soup is ready. You'll notice that it's no longer brothy, it's slightly thickened. It's a smoother texture because of the oats. It's even a bit lighter in color because we've blended everything together. It looks more of like a latte color. There's just a bit of foam from the blending of the oats, but it will go away. And as it sits, it's going to thicken up a little bit. Not too much, just a bit. The last thing I'm gonna do is just taste for seasoning. Tastes really good. All that it needs is just a squeeze of lemon. Now I'll just add the meat back in, and I'm going to plate myself a nice bowl of soup. You ready to have some soup?
I am. I'm very excited. I want to see how tasty this is.
Just serve some for me. And a squeeze of lime from me. Ooh.
Oh,
That's so good. And that chili that we put in the stock, it adds that background heat. It's not overly spicy. It's so good.
it's got this really nice texture. It's kind of like creamy, thick. It's kind of like evaporated milk that's been thinned down a bit. You know what? This is the kind of soup you could actually have all year long. It's not a soup that you're going to feel like, oh, it's too much for summer or when it's warmer, right? So good.
That's great. And the spices that we added in the second phase, they're not overpowering, even though it might seem like there was a lot of them, but they just round out the whole flavor. It's really good.
Well, there you have it. You got to try this one.
Let us know what you think.
Cheers.